Hello, this is Tiara.
Hello, this is Allie.
And this is the Goddess Vibration. Welcome back for another episode. We are really, really excited about this episode because we have a special guest and we're going to be talking about healing modalities. So I'm hoping that this episode will really give you guys lots of options when it comes to exploring not only your spiritual journey, but some of the things that you can do to enhance your spiritual journey, to really dig into some of the necessary healing and the different options that are available to you if that's something that you want to do. So myself and Ali would love to introduce you guys to Ms. Mary Armendarez. I'm sorry, Mary. Did I say your last name right? It's Armendarez. Like, is it Spanish?
It's perfect. Well
Woohoo!
done.
Yeah, that's right, you guys. I know Spanish. Um, so
And I should know Spanish, so
no,
Me
you really
too.
should. You really should. You actually literally live in Colombia. Um,
it's a
so
work in progress.
it is a work in progress, and I support you in that. Um, so
Thank
yeah,
you.
so we are so excited about this because Mary actually uses a healing method that I feel like is really, really valuable, and it's something that all of us probably need in some way. So I'm going to let her talk about that a little bit later. But first, I do want to share that when it comes to healing modalities, myself and Allie do offer different healing methods as well as services. It just kind of depends on what you're looking for. So we've talked about in previous episodes how me and Allie can do things like channeling, soul integration when it comes to speaking to your soul to see some of the necessary healing that might be necessary, in addition to mediumship and spiritual coaching. So I know Allie offers a lot more than that. I'll let her speak on that when she's ready to do so. But I just want to let you guys know that when it comes to necessary healing, you guys do have options in all of us here. So please do keep that in mind if you're looking for something. You guys know how to reach us on our website. So you do have options at your disposal.
Absolutely. Healing is not an easy journey. I think all three of us can attest to that, but it is necessary, and we encourage any and all who are even afraid to do the journey to jump in and do it, because as scary as it may be or as daunting as it may be, it's such a rewarding self-discovery journey. It really, the rewards definitely outweigh all the scary and all the fear and all the doubt. So as always, we will always encourage you to take this journey.
Absolutely. So, with that said, I think we should just dive right into Miss Mary. And she has this really fascinating story about how she came into her gifts and like how she came into this specific healing method. So, I'm just going to let her, share all of that because it is so, so interesting.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mary Armendarez, and I'm a Power Retrieval guidance coach. And I started my journey when I was a young girl growing up Catholic in a huge Catholic family. I always felt not loved, unworthy to receive, scared of God. And long story short, I ended up getting pregnant and at 17, 18 years old. And I had my beautiful baby daughter, but I was so full of guilt and shame because I had these belief systems inside me that I was doing something wrong, that I did something wrong. I couldn't even talk to my mom and dad about being pregnant because I was so feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go to hell for having this child out of wedlock.
Mm.
So that was the beginning of feeling just so like the lowest vibration you could possibly be is guilt and shame. And it wasn't even my guilt and shame. This guilt and shame comes from your past lives, it comes from your beliefs and patterns. And so I had this already vibrating inside of me. And I ended up marrying a man that was 15 years older than me. So here I was in this major pattern of giving away my power, my energy to other people. And I was going down this path of just no self care, no self love, and just leaking my energy constantly until my daughter gave me a book about the angels, the 12 archangels. And I opened that book and started reading that book, and I went, wait a minute, wait a minute. It truly was a divine intervention. It was like, I don't need to be living like this. I don't need to be living in fear and guilt and shame and leaking my energy and giving it to everybody else and not bringing in self care into who, to me, looking at me. How am I feeling? What do I need, Mary? That was completely not there at all. And I know a lot of us have the same story of not giving ourselves self care and leaking our energy constantly. I know a lot of us don't sleep at night. When you don't sleep at night, you're leaking your energy. So I discovered how to retrieve my energy, and that energy never dies. So it's all there. All those thoughts and feelings are all there for us to reclaim. So I help people all over the world reclaim their energy, bring their power back to them, ignite the fire that lives within them. So I do power retrieval coaching and guidance. And it is amazing how many people have transformed their lives with simple healing techniques. So that's who I am.
I just think that is so incredible just because the situation you described with your former spouse and how you leaked your power to him, I think is something that a lot of people can relate to. And it's absolutely something that I can relate to too. Cause I know I've been in several relationships that were like that, where like I gave away all my power to this other individual, and this person had power and influence over me in ways that I didn't even fully realize. So I'm so fascinated by this. It's called power retrieval.
Yes, power retrieval. And
Yes.
it is very powerful. And people don't realize that we're doing it on the daily, leaking our
Yes.
energy and giving our power away to other people.
Can you share a little bit more about what that looks like when it comes to like leaking your emotional and mental energy to like others or to other places? Like what can you give some examples about like what that means or what that looks like?
Oh my gosh, yes, of course. So we're all made of masculine and feminine energy. Um, God, source, whatever you like to call the divine energy of love, is made out of divine feminine and masculine energy. And so are all the angels, so are your guides. Everything is got feminine and masculine energy. So when our vibration is at a lower state, so I like to look at it like this. So we have the old male and the old female. No, those are the lowest vibration of the divine masculine and the divine feminine that lives within us. So when we go into the old male, that is when the ego is stepping in, and the ego is in future expectations, it's in judging, it's in wanting, it's in control. When we're in that state of mind, we are at a low vibration and we are leaking our energy. So when we're in the old male, we're leaking our energy when we're in those controlling thoughts. Anytime you look at something and you judge, you're leaking your energy. You're leaking your power. Now, let's go to the old female. The old female comes in and she goes, oh my gosh, everything's going to come back from the past. It's going to repeat itself. And then the guilt comes up and the shame comes up. Truly, that is the lowest you can go, is when you're in the old female, and that leaks your energy so quickly. So let's go back. What is the female? The female is our emotion, right? It's our emotion, it's where our intuition flows. The masculine is where the creative ideas come in. But that's the highest divine. When you're in your male, your masculine energy is when the creation comes in. And then when they're in perfect balance, the feminine and the masculine are in the divine highest, that's when the magic comes in for you because you're in so the male comes in, the divine, the creation comes in, the idea, and then it needs to be balanced with the intuition. So then the hit comes in and goes, oh, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do. So it's really important to have these two things in balance. Now, when we're living throughout our day, our daily lives, and we wake up and we're grouchy and we're pissed off about the dog peeing on the rug or whatever, you're leaking your energy. When you've got that anger, that rage, you're leaking your energy. When you're worried that that paycheck isn't going to come in, or how I'm going to pay the bills tomorrow, how I'm going to pay them in a month, how am I going to pay them in the year? We all do that, right? Where am I going to be in 10 years? That is a major energy leaker. We need to learn to be in the present point. Yeah, Mary, sure, you can just say that, but how do you do that? You need to start getting control of the way we think, the way we feel, the way we take care of ourselves, the way we speak to ourselves. We need to get that in control. So, the best tool for that is good old violet fire. So, most of you have heard of the violet flame of Saint Germain, right? Well, yes, absolutely comes in the violet fire and with Saint Germain, but I do it even in a more simpler way. You just imagine violet fire energy of violet is the color of transformation and forgiveness. When you start working with this color, your life will change quickly and you'll learn how to be in the present moment. So, we all know that the chakras, we all talk about the chakras.
Yeah.
Yes, they're the number one important thing in our life because they are our spiritual energy batteries. So the crown chakra is where the violet flame lives, the violet fire energy lives. So, what I like to teach people when we're running that mind in the past or in the future, you pretend you have this violet fire energy hat on your head, and you need it to cover all the way down to your ears, and you just stand in this energy for a moment, and bring you back to the present point in time. So that's just a cool one little example. That is like the number one thing everybody should be working with is the flame because that is the color of transformation and forgiveness. Now, if anybody ever has a session with me, you will know that color inside and out because I
Mm.
actually take you in a river. We go into a river of violet energy. So let's not call it flame because that sometimes that freaks people out. What? Is it going to burn me?
Yeah.
No, it's energy.
Right.
Remember, we're made of energy. And I actually put people in this energy and we release the fear. We release the doubt. We open up the meridians and it flows through you, releasing it from your RNA, your DNA, and your cells, right? Because they're
Mm.
imprints.
Yes.
So this is the quickest tool, simple, fastest tool to transform yourself quicker and get you back in the present point in time.
So it's kind of like
That
a
is so
clearing,
fascinating.
like an energy clearing almost.
100%. It's deeper than an
Ah,
energy clearing. It's a cellular clearing. It's a programming that's been programmed in you. It's the most incredible, fastest way to transform yourself out of that fear. Because why? Why are we in judging, controlling mode? Because of fear. Why are
right.
we always in the past in shame, guilt, worry? Because of fear.
Mm.
Now, why are we here on planet Earth? Does anybody know? I kind of know. Why are we here? We are here. First of all, let's back up. Schoolroom Earth. This is a school. What
Oh
is
yeah.
it a school for? It's a school for your oversoul, your higher self. Okay. So we have our soul, our oversoul, and then it says, you know what? I want to go learn about schoolroom Earth. So I'm going to make this personality Mary, and I'm going to bring her down here, and I'm going to have her have a really crappy childhood. She's not going to feel loved. She's going to have a child at a young age. She's going to marry somebody who's 15 years older than her. She's going to go through shame, guilt, fear, stress, you name it. We're going to throw it all on her.
Hmm.
Now, my soul is going, hey, Mary, connect to me, connect to me. I know the way out of this, right? So once you start tapping into this energy that you can get from your oversoul to tell you on the right path to move forward, then you learn how to bring in the purple flame to start getting all this stuff that I've done all through my life, all the patterns, the grief, all of that start flowing out of me. I went on one way, and then all of a sudden, this always happens to me. Like all of a sudden, the guides come in. They go, "Nope, you're going to talk about the soul." So excuse me for that.
It's okay. We do that
That
all the
is
time.
okay. We rant. We go on tangents, not purposely, but we go on tangents all the time.
Yeah, I was like, where am I going with this? Oh, so anyways.
I just have to say that that is really fascinating. I have the ability to also see auras, so I can see like entities and energy auras, but I can also see colors like within myself.
Mhm.
And typically, I always see violet. And so
Yeah,
as you were talking about like the purple flame, I was just like, huh, I wonder if that's what I'm seeing.
you are seeing that because that's the crown chakra. So if you can learn how to step into the purple flame and say, I'm open to transmute, I'm open to receive, and I'm open to reconnect. I'm telling you, all the listeners that are listening here, your life will change
It
fast.
it absolutely will. I have been told by some of the archangels because Tiara and I both know archangels and we can channel them. And one of them actually told me that I am like a master transmuter. I didn't really know what that meant. And so I hit the internet and started doing my own research. And transmuting is actually a really interesting and powerful gift.
It really is, and people can do it to themselves, right? Because we all have the abilities, all the gifts that we talk about today. Every single person that's listening to this podcast and beyond all have their own gifts. It's just a
Yes.
matter of tapping into those gifts, and the big word here is willing. Are you willing, right? Because the will, this schoolroom earth is the only place where we have free will.
Yeah.
So if you really want to change and you really want your guidance from your guides and your team of angels and helpers in heaven, you have to ask. They cannot help you unless you ask. And that's an important thing that we need to talk about because they're all sitting around going, "Hey, when is Mary going to finally reach out and ask for a little guidance, a little help?"
Right.
We've all been there.
We definitely have.
Yeah.
So, Mary, I was hoping you could share a little bit more about the story that you had in regards to, you said you read a book about the archangels. Um, I'm
Mhm.
fascinated to know more about, well, first of all, what that book was, because I've never heard of it, but also how it impacted you.
Mhm. Um, You know, it's the 12 archangels of the central sun. And it's Belinda Womack, and she's been my teacher for over 11 years or so.
Wow.
Um, so she channels the 12 archangels.
Oh,
And she yeah, but it's interesting because the way so whoever reads this book, some people will go, "This is not a book for me," right? Everybody has their own thing. And you might get something completely different than I got out. So what I got out of it was power retrieval. What I've learned
ah,
from the angels is power retrieval because that's my gift. That's what I'm here
yeah,
to help people do, right? Like
yeah.
each one of us has our own gifts and talents. So so what I got from working with the angels and healing myself was you didn't love yourself. You didn't respect the divine feminine that lived within you. Why? Because I was at the lowest. I was with shame, guilt, right? That was just running my system. My vibration was completely off. And when I do go back into that, I can catch myself now and go, wait a minute, it's starting to build up. Because, and I know you ladies know this, you can work on yourself constantly, but it's another layer that comes up, right? That needs to be
Yes.
cleared.
Yes.
So it's a nonstop thing. What did you ask me? What was the question you asked me again? I'm sorry.
Well, I was just curious to know how the book impacted you. I mean, you shared already a little bit of that about how when you read the book, for you, what resonated was power retrieval.
For me, it was deep healing that I didn't need to live in anxiety and fear anymore. And that's what I was doing. I was
Ah,
constantly beating myself up. I was constantly in the past and I was judging others. And now when we judge people, we're judging ourselves. It's a mirror reflection.
absolutely.
And so I've learned to keep my mouth shut. I have learned to learn to look at that person and send them love. I might not like what they're doing or what they're saying, but I'm not going to judge them because that is their deal. I'm not going to
Right.
jump out of my lane or out of my movie theater and go and put my energy into it. It's what's happening right now on schoolroom earth right now. We've got all this war, all this crisis, this elections business, all of this business. And when one of us puts our energy in it, we're fueling it. We're fueling that. And the more and more of us put more energy in it, now we're getting more fear, right? Fear is more raising up. So it's important to stay in our own lane and observe it and be neutral. Don't put your energy into it. You can see it, but don't put your energy into it because that's how the fuel is going to die down, right?
Yeah. So you were talking about how when you read the book that what resonated for you was power retrieval,
Mhm.
and you talked a little bit about clearing our energies and how we can do that to help kind of facilitate healing in many ways. I was wondering if you could share a little bit
Mhm.
more about what techniques or practices can help us retrieve our lost power.
Oh, sure. So the greatest thing is always setting intention, right? We always want to set an intention because intention is the number one thing that you can change anything in your life. So when you want to retrieve your power, I like to go back to those times. And the more you start being aware of your life and the circumstances of where you let your energy leak, where you gave away your free will, right? So a lot of
Yeah.
people have given your free will away. So let's go to sex. Let's go to sex because we're all women here.
Okay.
And how many times did you were in a situation where you really didn't want to have sex, but you did it anyways?
Oh,
That is a major because it's against your will, right? You didn't
yeah.
want to. You were scared, you were frightened, whatever the circumstance, you're being manipulated, and you had sex with this person. That is a major energy leaker, huge. So you go back to that time, you look at that time, you're going to put it in that violet fire energy. You're going to put that person you had sex with, whoever it was, you're going to put yourself in that violet fire energy and you're going to go, I forgive. Even if I don't want to forgive, I forgive. So you could do this with
Mm,
sexual abuse. You could do this with anything, right? This is
yes.
powerful. I forgive. Even if I don't want to forgive, I forgive anyways. That right there, you saying that right there releases that energy. And you say, I calm my innocence back, purified and
Right.
restored, because we want the energy to come back to us in a higher vibration than the way it was taken from us. I
Absolutely.
have a funny feeling there's going to be some people that really need this on this podcast because the emotions are really coming up for me right now. So this is
Oh,
really good that we're talking about this. So, um, So then you look at the situation, you put it in violet fire, you put that person in violet fire. Sometimes what I like to do is actually kick that person into a violet fire lake, pool, whatever you want, kick that situation, kick it in there. I forgive and I let it go.
Mm.
And then you come back and you go, I call I call my sexual energy back. I call my emotional energy back, purified and restored. And just those simple things, your energy is going to come back to you because it's your intention. So just a basic healing way to retrieve your power.
Wow.
That's so
Um,
fascinating.
no, and it makes total sense because I have seen people,
It
and
does.
on TikTok, like I've seen posts where people will have intentions that are specifically geared towards taking back your power, like from all power losses and multiple lifetimes, from multiple
Mhm,
experiences, and seizing that power back. And that's some very powerful
mhm.
stuff. It really is. And it's very life changing too.
It it'll truly change your life. So, but the cool thing is once you open that door and you learn how to do this, so you can do your mental, your emotional, your innocence, right? There's tons. There's huge. But going back to those scenarios that you really gave your energy and your free will to somebody else, that's when the magic starts happening. And then once you can start seeing it and feeling that energy come back, you're going to become a bigger, brighter, more expanded soul. And that's what we want to do. That's why we're here, to expand ourselves beyond, right?
Definitely.
Absolutely. Something that our listenership should also know is that, we've had multiple lifetimes, we've reincarnated even sometimes thousands of times, depending how old your soul is. And especially if you come to Earth, because of it being a school and because of free will, and school, Earth is the toughest. It's the toughest system to beat. And we come here to learn specific lessons, but also experience free will. And I think it's important for people to understand is that as we reincarnate, we will continue like the same. If we need to learn a lesson and if we haven't cleared it, we are going to go through a similar scenario or the same scenario until we learn it. They don't care how many times we have to try, they will keep sending us back until we learn it. And really our job is the incarnate's job is something that TR and I have learned, especially recently, is that the incarnate's job is to help the soul evolve. Like the incarnate and the higher self and the soul, we are all separate, but we all do work together to help with our evolution. This is how we grow.
I agree with you 100%. And that's exactly why we're here. We are here to grow. Well, we're here to grow as the soul. You're right. I get exactly what you're saying. And it's really interesting because we will continue to come back and repeat these patterns. And it's interesting because if you look at your life and you're like, God, it's that one person that really drives us out of our mind. And it's the one person that always comes into my life and I keep repeating the same pattern over and over with this person. That's the person you want to look at and go, hey, it's time for me to break this pattern. And then when that person comes up and goes, hey, come on, let's go run and play, let's cheat, let's lie, let's do this and that, start acknowledging that. Go, oh, you know what, thank you for showing me that I don't want to do that anymore, right? And go reward yourself with a scoop of ice cream, a piece of chocolate or whatever. But they're here to help you. You know, it's like your mom and dad. That, like, if you had mom and dads that never give you love or whatever, and you're always trying to get them to love you, and you're not getting that love and affection and appreciation that you want from them. Start looking at it a different way. Start looking at, like, thank you for showing me that I need to start loving myself and start filling up with more appreciation for myself. So they're all here to help us grow. But it's that one person, I swear, if anybody looks in their lives, they're going to see that one person that always comes in and goes, you know what? Let's go do this. Let's go be bad. Let's go do that. And it's like, thank you for showing me I don't want to repeat these patterns. Does that make sense?
It
It,
absolutely does. At least for me, it does.
yes, absolutely. Now, let's say that we get to a place where we're like, okay, I don't want to repeat this pattern anymore. How do you shift and take advantage of that so that you're bringing in energies of success so that your dreams can come true?
Oh, I love that. That's great. But let's back up before we get to dreams come true. Let's talk about how we get rid of beliefs and patterns. This is awesome. This is what I teach people. We go up into the library of beliefs, and the library of beliefs is this massive library. So we're actually going into the subconscious, right? And
Mm-hmm.
because that's where our patterns live, and our patterns are there in our beliefs from our past lives. And sometimes we keep repeating the same pattern over and over again. We're like, Jesus, why does this keep happening? It's
Yes.
because we're bringing it from our past lives or we're bringing it from our ancestors. So I teach people how to go up in the library of beliefs and we grab books that have titles on them, like, say, I will always, I will never make enough money, or I will always feel unworthy. All those things are what our beliefs are, our beliefs in our belief systems. So I teach people how to actually grab the books and we throw them in the violet flame dumpster, and the angels come in and help clear this. So it's super awesome. I mean, it's so powerful, the library of beliefs. Have you guys ever heard of
Hmm.
that before?
I
I
haven't.
haven't. No, I haven't either. And it sounds like it's a visualization technique.
Hmm.
Okay.
It
Okay.
is.
Okay.
It's yes. Yes, it is. Because the more we visualize, what are we doing? We're tuning up our intuition. We're tuning up all of our gifts and talents that live within us. So I do a lot of visualization with people. And then people go like, "Oh, I can't see. I can't see." I go, "It doesn't matter. It's the intention that we're throwing away those beliefs and those patterns that we keep repeating." And it's really cool to watch um, the clients that I do this with, because I can see their face and the release and crying and like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that this was up there in my subconscious.
Oh.
So it's super powerful. Yeah, it's amazing. And then we talked about success, and so success and dreams come true. So everything is made of energy and everything has a tone and a color to it. So for success and dreams come true, this is really awesome, is the color of turquoise, right? Have you girls ever heard of
Oh.
that?
I have not.
Um, I may have like a long time
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah. So for success and dreams come true, what I love to teach people is to go stand underneath a turquoise waterfall. And when you bring this energy through you with golden sparkles, try it. If you want to manifest something, try it. Go and stand underneath a turquoise waterfall and just say, I allow the energy of this turquoise color, I can never say that word, to flow through me and to bring in whatever you want to bring in, whatever it is you want to bring into your life. Just set your intention and stand in this waterfall of energy, and it is powerful. I try to fill up with that every day. you know Open up your heart, stand underneath that beautiful energy. So that's the color of success and dreams come true. It's gorgeous. I actually have a candle that's made out of that, and I infuse it with the archangel, so it's pretty powerful stuff.
Gosh, Mary, it sounds like you have mastered the art of intention and setting intention. Like you're a master
It's
at it.
it's taken me all it's taken me a long time, but I'm trying to really, because I think intention is the number one thing.
Yes.
Tension is first, and then everything else will flow to you. And the biggest thing for me that I struggled with forever was opening my heart. And I think that's a
Same.
daily basis for all of us. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that's probably across the board for
I was
most
gonna say,
people.
yeah. Same.
Because we have a lot of regrets and we have a lot of heartache.
Yeah.
And then, same with that. That's what I teach as well is when we go into the violet flame, I make your heart turn purple. And then once we go in there and we start letting the heartache go, the regrets, the sorrow, oh my gosh, there's so much sorrow, a hopelessness, and all of that, right? That stops our heart power. Our heart power is the door to our soul.
Mm.
And when you learn how to let that heart turn purple, you will see the black gunk just leaving you, and then you're opening that window to new possibilities.
Mm, I'm gonna try that tonight. This
Yeah,
sounds interesting. This all sounds so fascinating because, like I said, I can see colors and I can manipulate energy within my body to see the colors. And so I'm going to try this.
yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. And then the great thing to do is say, universe, I open to let love flow through me and fill me daily. That is powerful. So you're saying I open and I'm ready to receive, and I'm going to have this love flow through me and fill me, overflowing with love daily. That is a great affirmation to say every day. And then you say this, hey, guides, angels, and if I forget, keep this on automatic.
Well, I was just gonna say, what I really love about this is that this is stuff that literally anybody can do. Like, you don't have to be an expert to be able to set intentions for yourself, um, in order to change your life. And so that's why Mary, you were talking about earlier sensing emotions, and I think this is something that a lot of people will probably resonate with is being able to take some of this and apply it in their own lives. Um, and that's what I like about this kind of work.
What I like about this is that the way I teach is super simple and everybody can get it, because
Yeah.
I've seen some healers and things, they're so out there and you're just like, I have no idea what you're doing. And sometimes you get on a session with somebody that's a healer and they're just sitting there and you're just like, what's going on? Mine, you are working. You are working and you're learning these tools, because my job is to show you the tools and your job is to apply them.
Mm.
And that's what I love about what I do, because it's like, here, I'm going to give you a whole toolbox that you can use all the time. And you can go back and listen to the recording, jump into that violet flame, jump into the turquoise energy, jump in the divine feminine. Let's talk about the divine feminine energy. That energy and the violet flame energy are the two most important things you need in your life. So the divine feminine energy is the root chakra, right? And if we're not overfilled, flowing with the divine feminine energy, that's when the fear is going to come in. That's when we get scared. That's when nothing works. That's when no clients come in. That's when no job opportunities come in. So, how do we stay in the divine feminine energy? This is awesome. This morning in my meditation, the divine feminine energy came in, and it was me sitting down on a flame. A ruby red is the color of the divine feminine. That's the divine feminine energy. And you sit on this flame and you have it come up through your root, and you just sit in this energy and you just ask, Divine Mother, thank you for filling me up with safety and security. That's it. And then you can imagine, sense, or feel that energy flowing up through your spine, all the way back down, all the way down to Mother Earth. Now let's combine Mother Earth's energy with the divine feminine energy. Now we're really going to start feeling safe and secure. And what I like to tell people too is put your ruby red tights on. Wear your ruby red tights, right? And put your purple hat on. And man, you're ready to go out and conquer the day.
Wow.
The ruby red tights on. That was an interesting analogy.
I'm trying to envision that.
Yeah, I was just like, huh, like envisioning ruby red, and I'm like, huh, that's interesting.
Yeah, because that truly keeps you safe and secure. And I like to tell people to sit in a ruby red hot plate, to sit on that, because then you can start expanding that energy out, right? In your field. It's the ruby red is like the number one thing. Also, your little divine child. Now, the little divine child is your scared child, is your traumatized child. Working with your divine child is huge. And your divine child is, your way of connecting to your soul. And with the divine child, what I like to do is pull out a little golden cup out of her pocket, and I ask the divine feminine to fill it up. So you could say it's strawberry milk, whatever, but make it ruby and drink it, because now you're drinking in the divine feminine energy and it's flowing through you. You're going to feel safe and secure. You're not going to be in the fear. The fear will mellow out.
Hmm. This is
Sorry, I'm just
also
pondering.
fascinating. I'm just
I know, I'm just
you you
pondering
you
on, like,
you've
my
put me in
brain.
like this train of thought and pondering, and that's why we're
Same.
both. If we seem at loss for words, that's why. It's because we're deep in thought.
You guys are so funny. No, it's crazy. There's a lot of tools out there and they work. They're it's color. It's really truly color. Drinking it in, stepping in it, putting it all around you, and it raises your vibration instantly.
Allie, don't you
It
have
absolutely
a
does, and that's huh?
well, sorry. I didn't mean to jump over you. I was just she was talking about color
No,
and
it's fine.
I was gonna ask, don't you have like an acupuncturist who uses color?
Yeah, he uses color for everything. He's great.
Yeah, that's
How
so
does he
cool.
do that?
Um, so his acupuncture, he just works very like deep within the seven chakra system. So when you go and see him, like he'll ask in the first time I ever went to go see him, he put in all the needles and he leaves you in a room for 20 minutes and you have to keep your eyes closed. And he says, so you've never done you this is your first visit, you have to pay attention to all the colors that you see. And I was like, colors? He's like, yeah. He's like, any colors that you see, if they flash, if he was just like, you'll naturally see them. Even if you're a person who can't see colors, when you come see me, you will start to see colors in the 20 minutes that you're on the table. And so after the 20 minutes, he comes back in and he asks you, like, well, what colors did you see? And you just start listing them. And he knows exactly, he'll know exactly what those colors are either tied to, in like whether it's body heat or an organ in the body, or if it's a memory or anything. And so he goes deep into colors. And so every time I go see him now, because he's gotten to know me and my story a little bit more, he'll send me home and he'll say, I want you to pay attention to all the colors that you have in the dream world, and then I want you to message me in the morning with all the colors, and then we'll go through some interpretations. So his work is really fascinating.
It
Yes.
sounds incredible.
It is. He's
Yeah,
really cool.
my mind was blown too when she was talking about that. I was just like, "What? I have never heard of this."
Well, they have those machines, like you go and they pulse light on you, but this sounds way better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, really cool. So hopefully Tiara will visit him when she gets down here.
Yeah, when are you gonna go?
Well, I'm actually supposed to leave. What's today? Today is, as of this recording, January 8th. I'm actually supposed to be there on the 15th. So,
So next
Ellie has
Oh,
week,
been
next
just
Monday.
that's my
yeah.
birthday.
Oh my gosh! Happy early birthday!
That's
Happy
cool.
birthday.
Thanks.
Happy early
Thank
birthday.
you. That's exciting.
Yeah. And so I was like, I might as well just check him out, see what he's about. It's the least I could do.
Oh yeah, and report back to us.
I will. Oh, I'll have this. This will be recorded on a podcast.
uh, you two, are you going to do podcasts down there when you're down there?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, we have a couple things that we'll continue to work on the podcast, but we are also working on opening our channeling sessions to the public. We just haven't really been able to put together what that's going to look like and how we can make it interactive and how to get the public involved. But our channeling sessions are quite fascinating, and some really big energies come through, and some of it's like it's the archangel, sometimes it's Gaia, and we ask her like what's going on with the ascension process. Sometimes we talk to Egyptian gods, Hindi gods, and so we kind of they love when we do our channeling, and I just kind of we came up with this idea, and I was like, hey, what if we open them to the public? So in one of our channeling sessions, we had asked all these entities and beings, like, hey, what do you think about us opening up to the public? And they were just like, we love the idea. So it's been something in the works. We just have to work out what that's going to look like.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be great. Oh, I think it's going to be so neat. I think you two need to get a YouTube channel.
Oh, we do have one. It's just I've been lazy. Not lazy. It's just like, it's hard to put out the energy to just this last like couple months. It's just been I've been dealing with a lot of transition. We both have been. And so we just haven't been able to put out the energy like we want to. But 2024, I think, is going to be our year. And so our plan is to not only get the podcast episodes on YouTube, but start like doing appearances. And maybe if that means posting one of our channeling sessions, like, maybe that's something we can do too. So
That
we have some ideas.
Well, yes. So that's exactly what I'm getting for you too. Absolutely doing the channeling sessions on YouTube, so people can actually see you, and I think the vibration will be higher too if they can actually see you guys. I think that's awesome idea.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on 2024? What have you heard from your guides about 2024? The energies that are coming in.
Like for the population as a whole or for ourselves individually?
I would go for the first. Let's go with the whole population.
Tiara?
So what I've been seeing is that 2024, some of the 2024 numerology I have been seeing, and how people say that 2024 is, if you reduce the numbers, it's eight. Eight is infinity. So that a lot of people are gonna have these profound opportunities available to them if they seize
But it's
them and
also
take
a
advantage of
karmic
them.
year. It's also a
Right.
karmic year. And so there's going to be a lot of karma coming through and releasing that karma. It's also infinity. So it's also the year of money. It's also in Chinese zodiacs, it's also a dragon year. And the dragon is really known for good fortune and also money. And
Mhm.
so, but with that karma, I think it's going to be a really interesting contrast of abundance and karma.
Yeah, I heard that that the karma. It's time to step up and acknowledge
Yes.
what we've done and let it
Mhm.
go.
Yeah, releasing that karma, absolutely.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's just how many people have that ability to release it, right? And so with the karma years too, I think it could also bring up a lot of fear. So I think it's going to be a really interesting year.
Very.
Yes, I think for the people that are doing the work, it's going to be mind-blowing. I think a lot of people's lives are going to change. I think they're going to start realizing that they don't need to hold on to certain things or be in certain relationships. It's time to cut the
Mm.
relationships.
I love that.
Yes,
I
I do
hope I hope
too.
that's the case. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's time. It's time for us to really start sitting in our own space and start going, does that relationship bring me happiness? Does that relationship bring me joy? How do I feel? That's the main thing. How do I feel? what do I need? What do I need right now? And because I'm starting to feel like different people in my life that I've known for a long time, I don't want to be around them anymore.
Same.
My
Right.
vibration feels weird. And I'm picking up their energy more and more, and it's making me go, what?
Yeah.
What? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
I've had a lot of epiphany in the last few months of 2023, and I've been in and out of hermit mode, but the last few months I went into a deep hermit mode, and I just realized a lot of the people in my life, like, no offense, it's just our energy isn't matching, and so I've really had to take a few steps backwards and focus on myself and just really figure out and weed out things that don't serve my life anymore. And as difficult as that can be for some of our listeners, I just want to extend the message that it's okay. It's okay to do that. And, if it feels right, I encourage you to do that.
Absolutely.
Yes. No, it'll be mind changing because once we do that, and I know you ladies know this, once we do cut those cords with those people and weed out those people, we're going to have new people coming in, new people that align with us because we're making room. And I think that's an important thing that your listeners need to know. Every time we clear out the old, something more, and it's beyond what we ever expected, right? We always have these expectations of what we think is going to come in our life. It's going to be better than we ever expected. And I think that's what we have to look forward to in 2024.
That's wonderful. I love that so much.
Yes. I'm excited for this year. 2023 was a very big roller coaster year, as most years are. But for me personally, it was a really big roller coaster year. And I know there's a lot of stuff happening around the world, but I can't put energy into worrying about it. I just put the energy as if it happens, we'll deal with it when it comes here or when that bridge passes. But until then, I'm planning on having a great year.
Good.
And that, my friend, is a great way to be.
Agreed.
Not worrying, yeah, not worrying about the future. So this is one of the tools that I can share with your listeners is we're always in, thinking about our future, expectations of our future. So I teach people how to grab this giant book, and this book, the title says my expectations of the future, right? So it's a massive book because that's where we put all our energy into it, and we walk over this beautiful bridge, and we look over, and it's a river, and this river has golden sparkles, just beautiful river going through, golden sparkle river. It's energy. We take this book, my future expectations. Remember, we're leaking our energy when we're in the future, and we throw it into the water. Now, sometimes it's really hard to throw it in the water. Like sometimes I'll have one hand hanging on it, and I'm like, no, no, I'm not going to release this. Just keep practicing. Throw it in the water. Watch the book just go underneath the bridge and just roll on down this beautiful golden river. And then when you got the courage, you jump into the river and you say, I surrender. I surrender to my higher self, right? And the more you do that, the more you'll start being in the present, right here, right now. Because if you really think about it, where we are right now, aren't we all happy right now? All three of us are happy. We're all right here. We don't need to be in the present. We don't need to be in the past. And that's where we need to be. So, this book of expectation, our future expectation, is a great tool to use
Hmm.
on your future.
I think our
I like
listeners
that.
are going to extract a lot of value from hearing you today, Mary. So thank you so much for joining us and um, listening to our podcast and, spreading the word about us and trying to provide some guidance and support to our listeners because we're always doing that for them. Like anything we can do to assist them and help them on their spiritual journey is what we prioritize on this show. So, your guidance and wisdom is very, very much appreciated.
Well, thank you. I'm so thrilled that I could be on your podcast today. The two of you are rock stars. You're just going to go, you're going to do more and more for society. So well done to you two. And thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Thank
Thank
you. Thank you
you.
so
We'll stay
much.
in touch because once we start doing our channeling sessions, we'll definitely let you know when those go live in case you want to participate or join.
Oh, I would absolutely love to. The two of you, you guys are just getting started, just so you know that. And I think you know that.
Yeah, I think we got that sense too.
We do.
Good.
Well,
All
thank you so
right.
much. I'm so happy that I was able to join. I wasn't sure if I could join today because I had a house emergency, but I'm happy it all worked out. The universe responded, to me not wanting to miss out. So thank you so much. I hope everyone can extract an amazing lesson from this. There's so many things even I'm going to try. And it was just so enlightening to have Mary on. And thank you again so much.
Thank you, you guys. You guys have a beautiful day.
All right. Thanks. You too. And for those of you guys who are really interested, I'll make sure all Mary's information is in the show notes so you can find that information there. All right, you guys. Talk to you again soon.
Bye. Have a great week.
Bye bye.